Hi, I'm Tara and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to show you how to make a dinner of salmon burgers and sweet potato fries. So I have had these sweet potatoes for about a week and I need to use them up. I am going to start by showing you how to make the sweet potato fries. So first off, we are going to peel these babies, and these are pretty large ones, so you know, just so you know kind of what to get for the recipe, grab a couple large ones if you can, and you are just going to peel them into the sink or into a paper towel or whatnot. Okay, that is harder than just regular potatoes, I don't know. Just a little bit more muscle you gotta put into it. All right, so now we wanna try and chop these crazy shaped potatoes into what resembles fries. So good luck, right? Well, let's see what we can figure out here. If we do like half, they'll be about like that, which isn't too bad. I'm okay with that because otherwise they'll be really long fries. So I'm thinking that's what we do first, is we cut these in half. So we're gonna do that. Whoops, and this one the same. And then, again, so we get that flat surface when we're cutting, let's go ahead and cut these in half lengthwise. Got a little. If you find a little piece you need to cut off, do it. Let's cut all these in half lengthwise. Now, if you're cutting something that's a bit hard to cut, even if your knife is really sharp and recently sharpened, it still, you know, might be something that's a little bit dangerous, right? So if your knife is having a hard time getting through something like a sweet potato, get it in there and then put your hand on top and press down. It's much safer that way. All right. Again, lengthwise, put your hand on top. All right. Now, I'm getting a little closer to them looking like possible fries. So now, I'm gonna, since this is a flat part 2, I want to cut these into, you can kind of see it better there, like planks. I'm gonna do 2 down like this, and then I'll go lengthwise. Carefully. And that's pretty much a fry, I would say. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the rest of these. Cookie sheet. I think I might want to put them on 2 because there's a lot of them. Oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put them on 2 just so that they really crisp up nice as fries and don't end up sort of steaming instead. So we lost one. All right. Okay, yeah, I think that's probably a better choice. And those of you with those air fryers and stuff, you can pop them in there, I'm sure. If you find any pieces there that are a little thicker than you want, just sort of right that wrong right now. You know, they're not going to be perfect. They look homemade, right? Yeah. All right, so I think it's about even or so. Now we want to drizzle some, so I'm gonna push them kind of close to each other on each cookie sheet. And let's take some extra virgin olive oil, just drizzle some over top. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. And we're gonna do that on both of these because you're gonna be tossing them. Okay, and then we will hit them with some sea salt. You can always add more when they come out if they're not quite as salty as you want them to be. I know how I am with my fries, so I'll put some on there. I think some pepper would be good as well. You don't have to go crazy or anything, but a little bit on each one. And also, go ahead and add some garlic powder. Just kind of a light layer of that on both. Because that'll really play nicely with the sweetness of the sweet potato fries. I think that'll do well. Now, use your hands and toss them until they're all coated with all the different seasonings and oil. Do that on both. All right. And then just shake them up and spread them out as much as you can so that they bake evenly and they're able to crisp up. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees. Just do that on this side. Pretty much, okay, good. Let's pop them in the oven for 15 minutes and then we will take a look at them, toss them a bit, and then put them in for another 10 minutes. All right, so now while the sweet potato fries are in the oven crisping up and baking, we'll go ahead and put together our salmon burgers. So what I did was I'm using canned salmon from Costco, of course. So I am using 4 cans of canned salmon, of course drained real good as much as you can, and then put them in a bowl. Since they're kind of chunky and everything, and we want these salmon burgers to really stay together nicely, we are going to put them in a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can mash this down with a fork or whatnot, use your hands, and just kind of put all these ingredients together and try to keep the burgers together as much as you can. I'm sure it'll probably work out okay, but I think by doing this, it's gonna be even better. You know, it's gonna stay together a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in, and this is about a little over 1 pound or so of salmon. You could do fresh salmon too if you want, but this is easier, less prep, you know. So 4 cans. Then we can add. This is, how much is it? Half? Yeah. This is a half of a large jalapeno. So if it's a smaller jalapeno, maybe put the whole thing in. I took the ribbing in the inside of the jalapeno and the seeds. I took that out because the end game here wasn't to make them super spicy, just a little bit, and mostly to get just the nice flavor that you get from the jalapeno. So I did remove the ribs and the seeds. So a half of a large jalapeno, we'll put that in here. We're also going to add 2 green onions, and I just chopped them up nice and small. This was about a half of a red pepper. So, and I'd say it's about a half a cup if you want to know that measurement, about a half cup or so. Then we are going to hit this with some salt. And some black pepper. And we'll put a little garlic powder in here as well. All right, so put your lid on, and we're just gonna break this up and just process it into a bit of a paste. Okay, if it's climbing up the sides for you, just get yourself a spatula. It's pretty ground up, and it's a bit dry, and we have to add some moisture to this. Do a little bit more. Just to get it pasted up, you know? Okay, that looks good. All right, I'm grabbing the bowl that I had the salmon in, just out of the can, and I am going to remove the salmon mixture from this canister and put it back into the bowl. Okay, because this is kind of full already, it's going to be a little hard to stir. I'm going to put this into a bigger bowl. Okay. Then we are going to add, I've got 3 tablespoons of mayo and 1 pretty much tablespoon's worth squirt of sriracha. I'll put that in here. And then we are also going to put in a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. Got that there. So we'll pour those in and stir it up. Honestly, at this point, it's best to use your hands to really make sure that it's incorporated with the breadcrumbs and the moisture all throughout the salmon. And you can feel how moist it is too. I know nobody likes that word, but you want to feel that. You want to feel if this is going to be too dry of a mixture or not. Is it going to break apart? So I'm sorry, but I don't know what else to call it. So yeah, and you can see it's holding together as one big ball of salmon. So here we go. So we've got our mixture now all set to go, and we can basically cut this in half, you know, kind of eyeball it with your finger, cut it in half, and we will make 4 burgers out of this. All right, so just grab one of the sections and form it into a burger as best you can. And whether you're using the canned salmon, which we know is already cooked, I mean basically everything in here is already cooked, or the fresh salmon, which you don't have to cook fresh salmon for very long. If it's a little underdone, a little medium rare, that's actually really good. So you can make them fairly thick and not worry about them not being cooked enough. So that's how I'm going to do mine. And we'll do that with the other 3. right, so we got our patties ready to go. Okay, the alarm is going off, or the timer is going off, so for 15 minutes. So we'll turn that off and get these out of the oven. Okay. Grab a spatula and just give them a good toss. Okay, and then just shake them out again. They are soft right now. They're cooked through and soft. So now we're going to put them back in, and I'm hoping they crisp up. That's the idea anyway, so we're going to see if that happens. So spread them out as much as you can so we can try to achieve crispness. All right, we are going to put these in for another 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how long it takes them to really kind of brown up. Okay, I've got this pan nice and hot at a medium-high heat. It's been heating for probably a good 5 minutes, so it's really nice and hot. I'm going to take the light olive oil, and this is also sort of a non-stick pan, so that's going to make life a little bit easier. You can see, I think you can see it's smoking just a little bit, just a tiny bit, but it is nice and hot because we want these to cook up fairly quickly, since again they don't really have to cook, they're already cooked, but we want them to have a nice golden brown crust on each side. So I'm just gonna let you see what I'm doing here. All right, let's take our patties. You should have a nice sizzle. I'm even gonna turn it up to not high, but closer. They all fit. There we go. And then just let them fry so that they get that crust. Try not to move them. All right, after a few minutes, it's been between 3 and 5, I'm not real sure. Go ahead and flip them over. A nice golden brown crust. And this non-stick is, you know, making it a lot easier too. And then again, just let them sit for another 3-4 minutes or so to finish up on the other side. All right. We'll go ahead and take these out of the pan. They're looking just as golden brown on the other side. You can kind of see. Get these suckers out and let them rest on a plate. Okay, so I have the sweet potatoes fries still in the oven. They're on almost 17 minutes now. I'm letting them go so they try and crisp up. So while that's happening, I have put in a bowl here, and I can't really, here, I'll kind of show you this way. Okay. In this bowl, I have, oh, what was it? There is a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. There is a good tablespoon of sriracha, a splash of almond milk, and then a 1.5 tablespoons of ranch dressing seasoning. So I am going to stir this up, and that's the recipe for my spicy ranch. And the alarm is going off, as you can hear. right, they are getting there. They're getting there. I'm just gonna keep them in there a little bit longer. I think I turned that off. Yes, okay. All right, so I'm just gonna stir this up and try not to get it all over the place. But yeah, I literally always have this spicy ranch in my fridge. It's kind of a running joke with anybody that knows me because I put that shit on everything. If you know, you know. But yeah, so it's just good. I don't know. And I like it because I do cut it with a bit of Greek yogurt, so it's not as, you know, I guess bad for you or whatever as regular ranch dressing would be. And it's very flavorful, so you don't really need a lot. But I figured this would be good to either, you could dip fries in it, put a little bit on the salmon burger. So stir this up so that it's all ready to go. Okay, I took these out of the oven after about 20 more minutes. So 15 minutes in, take them out, kind of flip them around, stir them around with your spatula, back in for like 20 more minutes. They're still not crispy. They're definitely cooked and done, and they're starting to get brown around the edges. So I think if I left them in longer, they would just burn, you know, like I don't know that they're gonna get crispy. But let me let you see. So you can kind of see how they're looking. So I'm gonna let these rest for a bit because they are super hot right now. Like I will burn my mouth on them. And I believe when they rest, they're gonna firm up a little bit. Regardless, I did try one and they still taste good. So we're gonna go with it. So while we wait for those molten lava sweet potato fries to cool down, let's build our burger. So I have toasted a brioche bun a little while ago. We'll start with that. And let's see what size. Bring my. They ended up a little bit different sizes. You could use your scale and get it a little more perfect, but I'm gonna see which one. Okay. This one fits perfect, so that was kind of the smallest one. So we'll go with that one. So put that down. And then what I think is we will take a little bit of the spicy ranch, put that on this bun, or as much as you want. You know, like I said, you're in your own kitchen. You don't have to skimp, right? Put as much of it as you flippin' want. Okay. Settle down, Tara. Okay. Then I have the spring mix container here. I am just going to grab some of it and kind of pile it on top here. So I don't think cheese on this burger. I know, shocking. For me, that's shocking, but it's salmon. And I don't really foresee needing cheese on top of salmon. I don't know. Cheese and fish, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure about that. I'm not feeling it. So put yourself a nice pile of spring mix and then just kind of put the top on there. All right. And we've got our salmon burger. Looks pretty good. So we've got the salmon burger, and I'm going to grab some of these fries. Now actually, now they're not crispy, like I'm not gonna tell you they're crispy, but as they've sat, they're firming up a bit, so I'm not upset. I probably need to get an air fryer, but I don't know that I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna take a couple scoops of these fries so I can show you what they look like. I'm gonna bring you back over here. All right. Okay, so here you go, and you can see the fries and how they turned out. So they got a good color on them and everything. And a closer look at the burger. All right, it's that time. Let's see if I screwed this up. Again, I just made this up, so hopefully it's good. So let's try the salmon burger first. Find the perfect bite. You can see the sauce kind of coming out of there a little bit. Mmm. That is really good. Oh, and it's spicy too. Yeah. I did put jalapeno and sriracha in it, so of course it is. But it is like perfectly spicy, and of course we have the sriracha mayo on top. For me, this is perfectly spicy. It's not something hot that you feel like, oh my gosh, I need something to drink, but you get that tingle. It's firm enough, you know, it's staying together really nicely. If you've ever had like a crab cake sandwich, it's like that. Really good flavor. The flavor of the onion is coming through, and the pepper is in there. I'm happy with it. So then we will try some of the fries. I'm just gonna get like I would eat them, right? I'm not gonna get one. I'm gonna get like 3. Yeah, they're really good. Really, really sweet. And of course, anytime you roast any kind of vegetable, it gets sweeter in the oven. But of course, a sweet potato gets extra sweet, right? But it tastes really good. It's not a crispy fry, but they're really, really good. So I am happy with them. They had enough salt on them, so I don't feel like I have to put any more. So yeah, that is our dinner for tonight. Salmon burger and sweet potato fries. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you come back and see me again.